Welcome back to the Quantum Wealth channel. Today, my Mandy is my name. Up until this point, you have believed that you maybe have some control, right? You have some control over your life, but not all of it. You're creating certain things. You're participating in your life. Maybe you're doing certain things, but other things are just happening to you. It's this kind of back and forth of I'm creating this, but I'm a victim to this, but I'm creating this, but I'm a victim to this. And somewhere along the lines, something challenged that. And you were like, maybe I can actually just be the creator. Maybe I can create my reality to where I'm not a victim, where all these bad things aren't happening to me, that are just somehow out of my control. And you caught a little glimpse of, there's something there. There's something there. But I have no idea how to do that. I have no idea how to tap into that power, that higher self. So maybe you go down a rabbit hole. You go down a rabbit hole and you're searching. You read some books. Maybe you check out some different creators. You find people talking about manifestation, different techniques, and all this reprogramming of your mind. It could be anything. And you're like, I'm going to do this. And so maybe some things kind of start shifting and changing for you, but you're still like, I don't know, something's not really clicking. I just don't really fully get it yet. And that's how you ended up here. Because you're still doing it right now. You're thinking, if I can just find the one missing puzzle piece, there's just one thing that something will click and then I'll just get it. Well, I'm excited to tell you that you can give yourself that experience of it all just clicking and you just getting it. But that's up to you. That's entirely up to you. Because let's start with the foundation, all right? What does reality creation even mean? Well, let's start with what is reality? What the hell is reality? Well, it is what you consider to be real. Your reality experience is what you consider to be real in your experience. This is reality. This is real. That's not real. That's a TV show, but this is real. This is my real life. Okay? What makes something real? What makes it real? I'll give you a second to answer that for yourself. What makes it real? Well, I'll tell you. It's your feelings. Your feelings are what makes something real. You feel like it's real. You feel like it's real. You feel like it's real and you tell yourself a story that it is real. So we could say this. Reality is your feelings plus a story. Now let's say, just take it to the most basic level. Here is an experience you can have. Picking up a cup, taking a sip of water. All right. First of all, how many stories and how many feelings went into that experience? Tons. But one of them is I reached out, grabbed a cup, picked it up. The fact that this is even called a cup is a story. The feelings of feeling the water go down my throat, the feeling of me holding the cup, all feelings and stories. All feelings and stories. Now, let me ask you this. How do you know this is a cup? How do you know this is a cup? Well, it's because somewhere along your journey, somebody told you that's a cup, and you accepted that as a belief about your reality. Something you believe to be real or true about your reality. That is a cup. I know without a doubt that that is a cup. How do you know? Well, I'll just give you an example from language. In a different language, that's not called a cup. It's called all kinds of things. So to you, that's a cup, but to somebody else, it could be something totally different. Somebody might call that a water bottle, even just in the same language. Somebody might call it a mug. There is one key component here with all the feelings and stories, is that none of them would be happening without you. If I wasn't here to pick up the cup, drink out of the cup, observe the feelings of the water going down my throat, see the cup, experience moving the cup in space, the whole experience wouldn't happen without me. If I wasn't there, it wouldn't happen. It just simply wouldn't exist. That is your entire experience. Not only are you the one creating the experience of being in your human body, all of your feelings and all of your stories, but you're also the cup. You are the cup, because the cup wouldn't exist without you. The room wouldn't exist if you weren't there to stand in it. The whiteboard wouldn't exist if I wasn't here to write on it. None of the things in your experience would exist without you. So, now that we have the foundation down, your feelings plus the story equals reality. This is the formula. Now let's take it even a step further. Say that the cup was just here, and I didn't know what it was. And I didn't know that this was a cup. Could I still take a sip out of it? Yeah. I don't have to know what it's called to interact with it, to feel the feelings, to drink the water. But I may interact with it differently if I didn't know what it was called. If I didn't know what it was, I may not have picked it up and started drinking out of it. I may have interacted with the whole experience of the cup existing completely differently. I may have just completely ignored it and not even noticed that there was a cup full of water that's sitting there for me to drink because I didn't know what it was. This is the same way that you limit yourself in your experience, because the stories are everything that you know. Everything that you know about your life. Well, I know that's a cup. I know this is a whiteboard. I know it's a marker. I know my name is Mandy. I know that I'm blank. Whatever I would have said just then, I am X, Y, and Z, would have been a story. I am this. I am that. I'm from here. I do this. I am like this. This is my personality. This is who I am. There's a few key questions that we use to determine what we know about our experience. Who are you? Who are you? Well, I could answer that and say, Oh, I'm Mandy, I'm 27, I live in Arizona, and I'm a content creator, and X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, I don't actually know any of that. What does any of that even mean? Why is it even relevant? Every question I ask adds another story, adds another layer that I could come up with an answer to. But what I would be doing is coming up with an answer, creating my reality as I'm speaking it into existence. Who is just one of the questions. We also have what? What is that? It's a cup. We also have where? Where am I? I'm in Arizona. We also have when. When were you born? Well, the story is 27 years ago. This is potentially the most creative of them all. Why? Why? Anytime you ask yourself the question, why, and you come up with a reason. Why are you doing this? Why am I picking up the cup to drink the water? Why did I do this? Well, I could sit here and tell you, well, I picked up the cup and drank the water because I'm a human and science says that we have to stay hydrated because that's good for us, etc., etc., etc. I picked up the water because this morning I actually didn't really get any much water in yet, so I need to up my water intake for the day. Oh, I picked up the cup because I feel like I haven't really been on my water drinking game lately, so I started drinking out of this cup because when I have a cup with a straw, it's actually a lot easier for me to drink more water. And I want you to observe something. Just then, when I was making up all those stories about the cup, did you feel a little energy drain there? Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't notice. That's okay. Rewind it and see if you notice. Every time you speak a story into existence, you are using your energy to power that story. Every single time. I could have simply said, why am I picking up the cup and drinking it? Because I felt like it. Because I felt thirsty. Every time you ask yourself why, or any of these questions, you are creating a story. Creating a story about what is happening in your reality and what you know to be real about your reality. What you know to be real and true is all just stories that you continue to tell yourself and you power with your feelings. For example, if I'm telling the story, well, yeah, I picked up the cup because, I really need to up my water intake. I feel something about a story that I accepted about how I'm dehydrated, and that could be connected to another story of, well, I've been really tired lately and I haven't been getting in really good workouts, so I must be dehydrated. And so then to fix that problem, I have to drink more water. And then you kind of attach story to story to story. And then all of a sudden, now every day I'm going to work out because of another story that I told myself about how I have to work out to be healthy, but then I'm really tired from working out because I'm dehydrated, so then I have to make sure I drink more water. Can you see how all of the stories are dictating every single move that I make in the way that I behave in my reality? not only am I deciding which stories I am going to buy into and continue to tell, but then I'm also deciding to act from that place. Every story is just dictating the way I move about my experience, because I know things about how this is the way I have to do this, because if I want to be healthy, I have to work out and I have to drink enough water and I have to, and then it's like, but what even does healthy mean? And why am I trying to be healthy? Well, because then I'll feel better because I'm tired, but I'm tired because I'm not healthy. And you see how you can run yourself in fucking circles forever. Just trying to get to a place where you feel okay. Funny how you're just trying to find a feeling, right? In all the things that you're creating in your reality, it's always you attempting to find a feeling, to get to a place where you can feel good. Oh, if I'm just in shape enough and I have enough of a good diet and I drink enough water, and then I'll finally be healthy and I'll feel good and then I'll be good. When does that day ever actually come? I'll give you a hint. It doesn't. This is how you simply continue to complicate your experience and play games with yourself. There's a reason why two people could eat the exact same diet and have the same sort of exercise routine, same water intake, just totally live almost the same exact lifestyle, but one person could be super obese and one person could be skinny. This is why somebody who could be in really good shape could get super winded hiking up a mountain, and somebody who never works out is seemingly fine when they get to the top. If the stories that we told ourselves were actually true without a doubt every single time, it would be the same for every single person. If there was an objective truth that this is the way it is, it would be that way for everyone. But this is simply not the case. Two people could go and create the same type of business with the same strategies from the same person who taught them and have the same system set up and have completely different results. Why do you think that is? Doing all the same things, working on it the same amount of time. What's the difference there? The stories that you tell yourself. The stories that you tell yourself. Now, remember how earlier I said, if I didn't know that the cup was a cup full of water, I may have interacted with it differently. Take this and apply it to your entire life. The only thing you create are your limitations. The only thing you create are your limitations. All of those stories are limitations. Now, let's apply this to an example of an opportunity. Now, maybe you are at an event and you're networking and you're meeting people, and you have a story that you tell yourself about how you have to work really hard to get to a certain income level. Let's say that maybe you're making $100K a year and you think you have to work really hard to get to $1 million. And so you're like, I'm gonna be on this journey for a while. It's gonna take me a long time to get there, right? So you're at this event and you meet somebody and they offer you a deal. And they're like, hey, I want to pay you $1 million to do this. Oh no, this must be a scam. There's no way that could be real. You may interact with the person in a very specific way and turn down the opportunity right in front of you because you know that there's a lot of hard work in between this and it can't be that easy. You know that's how it works because you bought into the story and that's how you feel. You decided that that's not that easy. It couldn't possibly be that easy. So you turn down the offer. You're like, what's the catch? I don't get it. This could not be real. Could be something completely different. It could be a relationship. Maybe you consider certain people who are at a certain level of attractiveness to you as out of your league. And so someone that you think is very attractive is in the room and they're interested in you and they're looking at you and you don't make a move. You don't interact at all because to you, you've already decided inside your mind, nope, that's out of my league. No way, not even going to waste my time interacting. I already know what that is, so I'm not going to even open myself up to the possibility because I already know. You already determined. Had you have gone over and made a move and said, hey, can I take you out sometime? Little did you know, maybe they would have said yes and would have been a lovely budding relationship. You have no idea. Another example. Let's go back to people again. Say that you're out in your experience at a coffee shop and somebody sitting across from you at a table looks really interesting to you. Something about them is interesting to you. But you've already told yourself that it would be really weird to just go up and talk to a stranger in public. That would be weird. That's a belief that you bought into. For some reason, you've told yourself and you've accepted along the way that would just be weird. So you don't talk to them and you go about your business and your life doesn't change, when maybe that person could have been somebody who completely changed your life. But since you had already decided that you know that would have been weird, it limited your experience. This is exactly how you create your experience of reality. Every single time you determine who, what, when, where, or why something is happening, you are limiting the experience. Oh, I know what that is. I know who that is. I know how they are. That's how they are. Maybe they could be differently. But you've already decided. You know how they are. So you're not going to interact with them. You cut yourself off from the infinite possibilities that exist in every single moment. That's the thing with reality creation, is oftentimes you start to learn about creating your reality and you think, okay, cool, I can create all this cool stuff. And so you try to come up with things that you think would be desirable to you. You try to come up with, oh, this is what I want, so I'm going to manifest it. So what you do is you attempt to do the formula. You're like, this is a common thing that's taught. If I just tell the story that I have $1 million plus I just feel like I have it, then it'll happen. If I just tell myself the story that I have $1 million every single day, 9 times a day, for 3 hours, and I just feel and sit in the feeling that I have it, then it will magically happen in my experience. You are mistaken if you believe that that is how it's going to work. Look at your experience right now. Everything that you have created. Let's just start with something that's a problem, okay? Something that's an issue to you, something that's annoying to you. Did you have to sit and spend 3 hours a day meditating on it, feeling like it was going to happen, and telling yourself the story that it was going to happen to bring it into your experience? Did you have to do that? No? No, you didn't? That's what I thought. You see this, you're missing a key component here. Key component. I have $1 million is what you think you want, right? So I'm gonna try and feel like I already have it. Huh. It's almost like the $1 million isn't actually what you want. It's a feeling. It's a feeling that you think that $1 million is going to give you. That's what you want. Not the $1 million. Not the big house, the fancy car. No, not even the relationship. It's the feeling that you think that those things are going to give you. So, remember how I said, the only thing you create are your limitations. Your perception of reality is your limitations. So if you want to open yourself up to the possibilities that exist in every moment, stop telling the stories. All of them. All of them. All of the ones that are limiting you. Now, to be fair, you don't have to stop telling yourself the story that this is a marker or that this is a cup. Are these stories really super limiting to your experience? I mean, that's up for you to decide, right? How many stories do you have attached to the cup? But it's the key ones, identifying the key ones that hold you back from doing whatever it is you actually want to do. If you're constantly tired because you're in a cycle of working out because you think it's going to make you healthy and make you lose weight so then you'll look better so you can feel better about yourself, and you have to diet and you're constantly trying to manage all of these things, what stories are you telling yourself there that are limiting your experience? How much of your precious energy are you devoting into those stories to constantly get you on this treadmill where you can't ever get off? The only way to start identifying the stories that are holding you back is to slow the fuck down and pay attention to yourself. Slow the fuck down. You aren't even remotely aware of all of the stories that are controlling your experience constantly. But you can become aware of them as you start to slow down. Sit with yourself, pause, and pay attention. Even just a simple pause in the normal routine. Okay, let me just sit for a second. Notice what story comes up. Oh, I haven't had any water today yet. I should probably. Then you, oh, I'm doing it. Awareness. When you just give yourself that moment to pause, you can see the behavior is not the issue. It's fine that you're drinking water. But what are you telling yourself about that? When you pause and slow down and allow yourself to become aware of the story, the feelings come up. The feelings that are powering the story. The feelings come up and usually you just go. Gotta act. You sit down, you take a pause. I ate an extra cookie today, so I probably should go get a 30-minute workout in. You start to feel kind of guilty. Story you're telling yourself, you start to feel it. You feel the story because the story is connected to a feeling. And then you go, well, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that feeling. I gotta go work out. You go do your workout and continue on to the next thing on the hamster wheel. What if Instead, you sit and you feel the feeling. Well, this is different. The thing that happens when you start to slow down and feel the feeling connected to the story is you take your power back from the story. It's not about telling yourself a new story. It's never about, I need to replace this with a quote unquote better story. It's about realizing that the story's there in the first place. You aren't even aware that you're telling the story. You aren't even aware that you are the one accepting and buying into the belief that the story is true. You've been operating from a place that you're a victim to the story. So the only way for you to take your power back over creating your experience is to become aware of the stories you're already telling. And what happens when you sit there with the feeling and take your energy back from the story? You can do something different. Instead of running off to go get that workout in to try and get rid of that feeling, now you can use that energy to do anything else. Maybe an idea of something else will come in, but you don't even give yourself the opportunity for that to happen. Pause, slow down, and feel the story. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and follow our channel for more all about phase 2. And if you want to dive into your phase 2 experience and start really taking the fucking reins of being the creator of your experience, hit the link in the description and join the Quantum Wealth community. We'll see you in the next video.